Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Miami, Oklahoma police take a man into custody following a standoff. Just before 9 p.m. last night, Miami police responded to a report of shots fired in the 1100 block of I-Northwest. Police say a male suspect fired at another person following a physical altercation. The victim did not suffer a gunshot wound, however, had several wounds consistent with a fistfight. When Miami police arrived, the suspect barricaded himself inside with a family member. Officers at the house made numerous attempts to talk him out, but he refused to surrender. Police were able to get the family member out of the house. Officers then breached the home and took the suspect into custody without incident. Missouri Senators Roy Blunt and Josh Hawley say they've reintroduced legislation aimed at improving the safety of duck boats. They originally filed the legislation in response to the sinking of a Branson duck boat in 2018. The legislation would authorize previously outlined National Transportation Safety Board recommendations, including provisions to require the use of life jackets and equipping all operating duck boats to be more buoyant in the case of emergency flooding. A new company plans to bring duck boats back to Branson. The company, Branson Duck Boats LLC, says it'll use boats proven to be unsinkable by the U.S. Coast Guard. Well, some Southeast Kansas residents say they've had a hard time getting their unemployment checks. We've heard from several residents who say the Kansas Department of Labor has missed payments and they can't get a hold of them to contact the department. Iola resident Vicki Geisler and her husband Jack are two of them. They've both been unemployed since March of last year. Vicki's regular and extended benefits ran out a little more than a month ago, so she's applied for a different extension and says she has not heard back. Her husband was supposed to get a check this week, but it's held up. The highly transmissible COVID-19 variant first identified in South Africa is now in the U.S. 2 South Carolina adults were diagnosed in different parts of the state, becoming the nation's first known cases of the strain. Health officials say neither had traveled recently. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.